Welcome back everyone. Today we are going to start chapter 8, cell structure and functions. You have already learned that things around us are either living or non-living. Further, you may recall that all living organisms carry out certain basic functions. So we studied that. Can you list these functions? Different sets of organs perform the various functions you have listed. In this chapter, you shall learn about the basic structural unit of an organ, which is the cell. So basic structural unit of an organ is a cell. Cell may be compared to bricks. Bricks are assembled to make a building. Similarly, cells are assembled to make a body of every organism. So cells are like bricks. 8.1 Discovery of the cell. Robert Hooke in 1665 observed slices of cork under a simple magnifying device. Cork is a part of the bark of a tree. So he took then thin slice of cork and observed them under a microscope. He noticed partitioned boxes or compartments in the cork slice. So you can see cork cell as observed by Robert Hooke. You can see. So these boxes appeared like a honeycomb. He also noticed that one box was separated from the other by a wall or partition. Hooke coined the term cell for each box. What Hooke observed as boxes or cells in the cork were actually dead cells. Cells of living organisms could be observed only after the discovery of improved microscopes. Very little was known about the cell for the next 150 years after Robert Hooke's observations. Today, we know a lot about cell structure and its functions because of improved microscopes having high magnification. So 8.2 The cell. Both bricks in the building and cells in the living organisms are basic structural units. So as you can see in figure 8.2a and b, the buildings though built of similar bricks having different designs, shapes and size. Similarly, in the living world, organisms differ from one another, but all are made up of cells. Cell is the in the living organisms are complex living structure unlike non-living bricks. So cells are complex living structure, not like brick which is non-living. A hen's egg can be seen easily. It is a cell or a group of cell pahiliyas. So you can see here these are a brick wall, these are a onion peel. So it looks like similar. So the eggs of a hen represent a single cell and is big enough to be seen by the unaided eye. 8.3 Organisms show variety in cell number, shape and size. How do scientists observe and study the living cells? They use microscopes which magnify objects. Stains, dyes are used to color parts of the cell to study the detailed structure. So there are millions of living organisms. There are of different size, shapes and size. Their organs also vary in shape, size and number of cells. Let us study about some of them. So number of cells. Can you guess the number of cells in a tall tree or in a huge animal like the elephant? The numbers runs into billions and trillions. Human beings has trillions of cells which vary in size, shape and sizes. Different group of cells perform a variety of functions. A billion is 1,000,000,000 and a trillion is 1,000,000,000,000. Organisms made of more than one cells are called multicellular. So the organisms which have more than one cells are called multicellular. Multi means many and cellular means cell organisms. The number of cells being less in smaller organisms does not in any way affect the functioning of the organisms. You will be surprised to know that an organism will with billions of cells begin life as a single cell. So which is the fertilized egg. The fertilized egg cells multiplies and the number of cells increases as the development proceeds. Look at the figure 8.3a and b. Both organisms are made up of a single cell. So you can see this is a single celled amoeba and a paramecium which is also a single celled. You can see. So the single celled organisms are called unicellular. Uni means one and cellular means cell. A single-celled organisms perform all the necessary functions that multicellular organisms perform. So the single-celled organism like amoeba capture and digest food, respires, excretes, grows and reproduces. Similarly, functions in multicellular organisms are carried out by groups of specialized cells forming different tissues. Tissue in turn form organ. So 8.1 activity. The teacher may show a permanent slide of amoeba and paramecium under a microscope. Alternatively, the teacher can collect pond water and show these organisms by preparing the slide. So this is for the teacher. Shape of cells refer to figure 8.3a. How do you define the shape of amoeba in the figure? You may say that the shape appears irregular. In fact, amoeba has no definite shape. Unlike other organisms, it keeps on changing its size, shape. Observe the projections of varying length protruding out of its body. So these are called pseudopodia. Pseudo means false and podia means feet. So as you learnt in class 7, these projections appear and disappear as amoeba moves and feeds. So Paheli asks, what advantage does amoeba derive by changing the shape? So Bojo says the change in shape is due to formation of pseudopodia, which facilitates movement and help of capturing food. So it helps in its movement and capturing food. A white blood cell, WBC, in human body blood is another example of single cell which can change its shape. But while WBC is a cell, amoeba is a fully fledged organism capable of independent existence. So what shape would you expect in organisms with millions of cells? Figure 8.4 ABC shows different cells such as blood, muscle and nerves of human being. The different shapes are related to their specific function. So you can see A is the spherical red blood cell of human. So B is a spindle shaped muscle cell. So you can see spindle shaped muscle cell. And C is long branched nerve cell. So these are the nerve cell, blood cell, red blood cell and muscle cells. So generally cells are round, spherical or elongated, as you can see in figure 8.4a. Some cells are long and pointed at both ends. They exhibit a spindle shape like in figure 8.4b. Sometimes our cells are quite long. Some are branched like the nerve cells or a neuron. So the nerve cell receives and transfers messages, thereby helping the control and coordinate the working of different parts of the body. Can you guess which part of the cell gives its shape? Components of the cell are enclosed in a membrane. This membrane provides shape to the cell of plant and animal. So membrane provides the shape to the cell of plant and animal. Cell wall is an additional covering over the cell membrane in plant cells. It gives shape and rigidity to these cells. So you can see it in figure 8.7. Bacterial cells has also cell wall. So size of cells, the size of cells in living organism may vary. It may be small as a billionth of a meter, micrometer or micron, or maybe as large as few centimeters. However, most of the cells are microscopic in size and are not visible to the unaided eye. They need to be enlarged or magnified by a micrometer. The smallest cell is 0.1 to 0.5 micrometer. In bacteria, the largest cell measuring 170 mm to into 130 mm is the egg of an ostrich. So activity 8.2, boil a hen's egg, remove the shell. What do you observe? The white material surround the yellow part. White material is the albumin and which solidifies on boiling. The yellow part is yolk. It is the part of the single cell. You can observe the single cell without any magnifying device. So Paheli says, are the cells in an elephant larger than the cells in a rat? The size of the cell has no relation to the size of the body of the animal or plant. So it is not necessary that the cell in the elephant be much larger than those in the rat. The size of the cell is related to its function. So main thing is the function of the cell. For example, nerve cells both in the elephant and rat are long and branched. They perform the same function that is of transferring messages. So 8.4, cell structure and function. You have learned that each living organism has many organs. You have studied in class 7th about the digestive organ, which together constitute the digestive system. So you know that each organ in the system performs different functions such as digestion, assimilation and absorption. Similarly, different organs of plants perform specialized functions. For example, roots helps in the absorption of water and minerals. Leaves, as you have learned in class 7th, are responsible for the synthesis of food. Each organ is further made up of smaller parts called tissue. A tissue is a group of similar cells performing a specific function. So Paheli realized that an organ is made up of tissues which in turns are made up of cells. The cells in the living organism is the basic structural unit. So now 8.5 parts of the cell. There is cell membrane. The basic component of a cell are called cell membrane, cytoplasm and nucleus. 8.7 shows the figure. The cytoplasm and nucleus are enclosed within the cell membrane, are also called as plasma membrane. The membrane this membrane separates cells from the another, and also the cell from the surrounding medium. The plasma membrane is porous and also allow the movement of the substance of materials both inward and outward. So activity 8.3, in order to observe the basic components of the cell, take an onion bulb, remove the dry pink covering called peels. You can easily separate them from the fleshy white layer of the bulb, which with the help of a forceps or even with your hand. You can also break the onion bulb and separate the thin layer. Place a small piece of the thin onion peel in a drop of water in a glass slide. The thin layer can be cut into smaller pieces with the help of a blade or forceps. Add a drop of methylene blue solution to the layer and place a cover slip on it. While placing the cover slip, ensure that there are no air bubbles under the cover slip. Observe the slide under microscope. Draw and label. You may compare it with figure 8.5. So you can see here the boundary of the onion cell is the cell membrane. So you can see cell membrane, and cell membrane is covered by another thick covering called the cell wall. Now the central dense round body of the center is called the nucleus. So you can see the nucleus. The jelly-like substance between the nucleus and the cell membrane is called the cytoplasm. So you can see the jelly-like membrane, it is the cytoplasm. So Bojo want to ask, I want to know why plant cells need cell walls. So you have learned earlier that the cell membrane gives shape to the cell. In addition to the cell membrane, there is an outer thick layer in cells of plant called cell wall. This additional layer surrounding the cell membrane is required by plants for protection. Plant cells need protection against variation in temperature, high wind speed, atmospheric moisture, etc. They are exposed to these variations because they cannot move. Cells can be observed in the leaf peel of Tradescentia, Elodia or Roi. You can prepare a slide as in the case of onion. Paheli asked Bojo if he can also observe animal cell. So activity 8.4, take a clean toothpick or a matchstick with the tip broken. Scrape inside of your cheek without hurting. So place it in a drop of water on a glass slide. Add a drop of iodine and place a cover slip over it. Alternatively, add 1-2 drops of methylene blue solution. Observe it under the microscope. You will notice several cells in the scraped material as in figure 8.6. You can identify the cell membrane, the cytoplasm and nucleus. A cell wall is absent in animal cell. So you can see here human cheek cell. So this is the cell membrane, this is the cytoplasm, and this is the nucleus. So now the cell membrane you have seen. So human cheek cell was this was the explanation of human cheek. And now there is a explanation of gene. Gene is a unit of inheritance in living organisms. It controls the transfer of a hereditary characteristic from parent to offspring. This means that your parent passed some of their characteristics on to you. If your father has brown eyes, you may also have brown eyes. If your mother has curly hairs, you might also end up having curly hairs. However, the different combination of genes from parent result in different characteristics. So here is an explanation for cytoplasm. It is a jelly-like substance present between the cell membrane. So you have seen that, and the nucleus. Various other components or organelles of cells are present in the cytoplasm. These are mitochondria, Golgi bodies, ribosomes, etc. You will learn about them in later classes. Nucleus, it is an important component of the living cell. So nucleus is the most important component of the living cell. It is generally spherical and located in the center of the cell. It can be strained and seen easily with the help of a microscope. Nucleus is separated from the cytoplasm by a membrane called the nuclear membrane. This membrane is also porous and allow the movement of material between the cytoplasm and the inside of the nucleus. With a microscope of higher magnification, you can see a smaller spherical body in the nucleus. It is called the nucleolus. In addition, nucleus contains thread-like structures called chromosome. This carries genes and help in inheritance or transfer of characteristics from the parent to the offspring. The chromosomes can be seen only when the cell divides. So nucleus, in addition to its role in inheritance, act as a control center of the activities of the cell. The entire content of a living cell is known as protoplasm. It includes the cytoplasm and the nucleus. Protoplasm is called the living substance of the cell. So Paheli wants to know if the structure of the nucleus is as same in the cells of plant, animal and bacteria. So the nucleus of the bacterial cell is not well organized like the cells of multicellular organisms. There is no nuclear membrane. The cells having nuclear material without nuclear membrane are termed as prokaryotic cells. The organisms with these kinds of cells are called prokaryotes. Pro means primitives and karyon means nucleus. Example are bacteria and blue-green algae. The cells like onion cells and cheek cells have well organized nucleus with the nuclear membrane, are designed as eukaryotic cells. All organisms other than bacteria and blue-green algae are called eukaryotes. U means true and karyon means nucleus. So you can see here, while observing the onion cell under the microscope, did you notice any blank looking structure in the cytoplasm? It is called the vacuole. It could be single and big as in an onion cell. Cheek cells have smaller vacuoles. Large vacuoles are common in plant cells. Vacuoles in animal cells are much smaller. So you might have noticed several small colored bodies in the cytoplasm of the cell of Tradescentia leaf. They are scattered in the cytoplasm of the leaf cells. These are called plastids. They are of different colors. Some of them contain green color pigment called chlorophyll. Green colored plastids are called chloroplasts, and they provide green color to the leaf. You may recall that chlorophyll in the chloroplast of leaf is essential for photosynthesis. You have learned in 7th class. 8.6 comparison of plant and animal cells. If you recall activity 8.3 and 8.4, you should be able to compare plant and animal cell. Observe the plant and animal cell carefully in figure 8.7a and b. Let us tabulate the similarities and distinguish features of plant and animal cell. Only a few features are mentioned. You will add more in table 8.1. So you can see the plant cell here and animal cell. And so cell wall, cell membrane, and in the plant cell you can see chloroplast is here. So you can see the cell membrane here. Here is the vacuole, nucleus you can see, cytoplasm. So there is a comparison table of plant and animal cell. You can see cell membrane, plant cell it is present, and animal cell also present. Cell wall present in plant and animal cell. So nucleus is also present in plant and animal cell. Similarly you can fill that. And here the chapter is finished, and we'll start the next chapter in the next class.